Hey guys, what's good? Triple J Boxing here. Wow. Wow. Now, I wasn't going to put out my prediction video because I was running out of time. If you guys noticed, my prediction video was only a couple hours before the fight. But I'm glad I did because what did I say? I called Ryan Garcia by decision with knockdowns. I swear. I don't know why I thought that. And that was meaning that I was basing it off of if Ryan really did train good, which he did. And that's why I picked Ryan Garcia to win. I don't care what people say. Everyone, especially like people like Paulie Malignaggi, were really harsh on Ryan, saying he's not even good. The guy's amateur record was incredible. He beat Haney 3 times in the amateurs, and he beat Luke Campbell, knocked him out. No one else knocked out Luke Campbell, gold medalist. Lomachenko didn't even do that. Yet they think he was shit going in the fight. The only concern I had was the mental state. Did he train hard? Other than that, I knew he could compete with Haney. I don't know where people were coming from. My only concern was most people's concern. But when it comes to boxing skills, they just call him a left hook fighter, which I don't agree with. It's just because the left hook is so good that you forget about the other stuff he does good, right? Man, like and the reason why I thought it would go to decision because Haney is in his prime and Haney is such a well-trained, conditioned fighter. I thought he could maybe weather the storm. Ryan actually hurt him more severely than I thought he would. Like it was the theater of unexpected. I didn't know what was going on, but it was hard to picture Haney getting knocked out cold. You know what I mean, guys? It was just hard to picture a guy in his prime that's very like Haney's like no joke. He's the most disciplined fighter. He doesn't leave any stone unturned. And sure, he got rocked by Linares, and that was the one thing that I could look back on that he gets Bambi legs when he gets hurt, whereas Ryan Garcia doesn't really get Bambi legs. When Gervonta dropped him, he gets up right away. His legs are fine. When the body shot, it's a body shot. That's how it's just hard to recover from that. And he was dehydrated. And now we know he was severely dehydrated. When he's hydrated, this is why he put on the extra 3 pounds, guys. He wasn't going to, he learned from his mistakes. He said it, that will never happen to me again. So out of spite, he didn't make weight. He's like, no, what? Not only am I not going to make weight this time, I'm going to be overweight because I want to be strong. I don't want to be weak like I was in the tank fight. But yeah, so I do give credit though. Haney did land a big left hook that did. I think it was more like Ryan got off balance when he landed. I wouldn't say Ryan's legs were like he was on Bambi legs, but he did kind of. I think he hit him as he was going back, so it kind of looked like he was unsteady for a second. But I don't think his equilibrium. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Equilibrium was off. I think it was just more. He caught him when he was moving back, so his senses were fine. But that's the difference that I noticed. Haney, when he gets rocked, and it was only against Linares, really. I think there was other moments, and I think Jojo Diaz landed good shots on him, but I based it off of, it was hard to picture Haney getting knocked out cold because he's such a well-conditioned guy and at the highest level, and he's defensive-minded. That's why I said Ryan Garcia knockdowns and decision. That was my thinking on that, but I got to give credit to Haney. He stuck to his word. He did try walking Ryan down. He stood his ground, but he couldn't handle the power. But you got to give the guy heart. He's got heart. Devin Haney has got heart. You can't question it. He went to Australia twice. He fought Lomachenko. I know Lomachenko won, but he's still challenging all these guys, and he was competitive in the Lomachenko fight, even though he lost. So really, he did try to stand with Ryan, but he just couldn't handle the power. Every time he got touched, he was going to get hurt. You know what I mean? So even though Ryan was giving up rounds, he gave up a lot of rounds in the middle of the fight. And he was moving around back and forth laterally. And I kind of thought to myself, I'm like, this isn't because Ryan's tired. This is because he's setting him up. He's baiting him. He's letting him think that he's letting Haney think that he's getting control, but really Ryan was just picking his spots, and he knew that he could hurt him at any moment, and he did. And but like I said, the shots that Haney took, especially the round 11 one, when Ryan threw the right hook and then the left hook sat him down, vicious knockdown. Devin Haney recovers quick. But I got to say, the worst knockdown was probably the round. Was it round 1 or 2? I forget. The first knockdown, that left hook that landed. That's how heavyweights look when they get dropped. Like, his legs were gone. Like, Devin Haney was hurt severely. He could not get up right away. Like, he was like in slow motion trying to get up. Like, it looked like, when I say it looked like a heavyweight knockout, that's how they look. They kind of get up really slow. You know what I mean? That power's no joke. And that was the only knockdown that you really seen Haney completely out of his senses for a couple seconds. And then he recovered and he got back up he got up at count 6. But I thought the fight was done, actually, the first knockdown, I thought the fight was done. As the fight progressed, I thought Haney, I'm like, okay, is Ryan getting tired? Because Ryan started not throwing as much. But it was all game plan, and he executed it perfectly. And, the last knockdown, like I said, that was, Haney had a pretty good recovering ability. His eyes maybe rolled back for a second, but I think the first knockdown was probably the worst one. The other ones, he just could not deal with the power. In round 7, the fight could have ended. The ref kind of fucked it up. He took a point away. Haney was holding, so Ryan hit him with a right over the top. Took a point away. I was starting to think, oh, don't tell me they're going to rob him. That's what was going in my mind. But then it became clear that it wouldn't matter because Ryan was just dominating. It didn't even matter. But I think when Haney was severely hurt in round 7, it was like 5 knockdowns in round 7 and only 1 counted, but there was like 5. His legs were like betraying him. I don't know if the weight drain affected him. Maybe he shouldn't be fighting at 140. If there is a rematch, it should probably be at 147. Let's be honest, guys. We'll get the best versions of both guys if it happens at 147. Do you agree, guys? 140 is not the weight class for either of these guys anymore, in my opinion. They're too big. So round 7, he had him severely hurt. Ref gave Devin Haney like 20 seconds to recover, took a point away from Ryan. He could have finished the fight in round 7. That's how bad it was. And Ryan really wanted to push for that round 7 knockout. He was going for his head, like he said. Ryan did everything he said he was going to do, just like Tyson Fury said he was going to do it to Deontay Wilder. That's the way I kind of thought after this transpired. He reminded me of that. He stayed true to his prediction. Same with Haney. He did try stand his ground, center of the ring. He did try that. I'm not going to lie. Actually, Ryan was on the back foot for a lot of the fight, more than Haney, I feel like, trying to set him up for like the middle rounds. But so round 7, it is a lucky number. I think it has religious significance too. So I think Ryan really wanted that round 7, right? 7, the lucky number. And I think Devin actually said he wanted to get the round 7 knockout too or something, but wasn't meant to be. The ref kind of fucked that up. Who knows though? Haney has tremendous heart. Maybe he would have survived, but there's a possibility the fight would have got stopped in round 7. And after that point, it was a matter of time. He was taking a beat down. It was similar to Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence, to be honest. It was similar to Wilder versus Fury, the second fight. And I think more the second fight, where it was just a sustained beat down and knockdowns, 8 knockdowns or something. They only counted 3, but there was like 8. You know what I mean? Like round 7, I had like 5 knockdowns. He's the real deal. He is mentally strong, guys. He had a chip on his shoulder and he showed it. Like, he proved everyone wrong. He didn't prove me wrong. I was just concerned about, did he train hard? That was all I was concerned about. As long as he trained hard and he just used his muscle memory and he followed Derek James's guide in the camp and he didn't miss training sessions. I assume he didn't. Maybe he did. But as long as he did that, I was confident that he was going to win the fight. I don't know why people thought he wasn't a good fighter. He only had the left hand. The guy had a successful amateur career. And like I said, what he did to Luke Campbell, no one else did that. Gold medalist. Like in the Tank fight, severely dehydrated. And he was giving Tank problems up to that point. It was a competitive fight. He was landing shots. He was weak going into that fight. And it showed in this performance when he's healthy, what he can do. I know skills when I see it, and Ryan's got it. And he's got that God-gifting speed and power. I think that is what was really throwing Haney off as well. The speed difference. The speed and the time and the power all combined. Haney just Because usually Haney is the quicker guy. He wasn't in this case. Usually Haney's the bigger guy. In this case, he wasn't. I don't think he was. Maybe he weighed more, but Ryan looked like he was, if not bigger, or the same weight, I would say. He's obviously taller, but not as much reach compared to Haney. But the belts don't mean shit. We all know that, and Ryan knows that. This proves the point. The W is the only thing that matters. The belts don't mean shit. And I'll give it a good example. George Kambosos, I'm taking nothing away from him. This is just an example. He unified the division, won all the belts from Tio. Who was better, Ryan Garcia or the unified champion at the time, George Kambosos? We all know Ryan Garcia is better than George Kambosos, yet Ryan has never been a champ to this day, and he still's not. But he's probably the best fighter that I've ever seen that's not a champion so far. He never won an official world title, but that just shows you belts don't mean shit. Rolly Romero, another example. He was a world champion. You got to be kidding me. Boots Ennis got elevated. That's my number one example, guys. And George Kambosos, he's a good fighter, and yeah, he can, taking nothing away from him. But I'm saying if he can unify and he can even win a belt, then Ryan, he's deserving of our respect. And that just shows you belts don't mean shit. It's all about the W and who you beat. That's bringing boxing back. He's a throwback fighter, guys. Ryan Garcia, throwback fighter. Who fights Tank? He's the only guy that fought Tank and was willing to take all those stipulations. I don't care what you say. If he fights Tank and I just heard Oscar said it, he's willing to fight Tank in a rematch, but it has to be either at 145 catch weight or 147. He said that. But Ryan's actually saying he might go up to 154 and beat Fandora, and I could probably see that. You know what I mean? Fandora's a big target. But let's just talk about the Tank rematch. Oscar had officially said after the fight with an interview, Tank rematch 145. We'll see who. I guarantee Tank won't accept that because he knows he can't win. It's a cowardly move by Tank. He won't accept that. He won't accept that. And I think Tank is really good fighter. And does he have a chance to win still? Sure, he does. Highly favored. Check Ryan Garcia's new song. But I highly favor Ryan to beat Gervonta Davis if he's healthy weight. I said it here, guys. I just feel like he would eventually take over. Tank is too small for these guys. And everyone's outgrowing Tank. Tank's not going to be that guy no more if he doesn't accept these fights. He might accept fighting Haney now, though. That's the thing. He might accept fighting Shakur. But to move up and fight Ryan now, I don't know. I favor Ryan to beat Gervonta Davis if it's at a catch weight of 145, like Oscar says, or welterweight. But yeah, I do think, though, Tank is he's probably one of the best guys. Probably better. He's obviously better than... I think he's better than Haney, and I think he's better than Shakur, but he hasn't fought Shakur and he hasn't fought Haney, so I can't say for sure. And he won't fight those guys. Well, he won't fight Haney, I don't think, unless it's a rehydration clause. That fight's not happening. Even after this kind of performance of Haney, he is people are going to look at him like he's a weak link now, that, I can take advantage of Haney. Tank won't fight Haney because he won't go up that high in weight, and he'll put on... Haney will not fight him at a rehydration clause. Ryan's a throwback fighter. He goes right to he didn't have to fight Haney, and he shouldn't have fought Tank when he did. It was too early in his career. He was too green. Not only that, he takes a rehydration clause. Give the guy respect. Give the guy respect. He's the king at 140 now, in my opinion. I want to see him versus Tio. But I don't even think Ryan's going to fight at 140 no more. It's either going to be a catch weight or 147 or 154 now. So maybe that fight with Tio will have to be at a catch weight. But obviously, in my opinion, I think Ryan is the best at around 140. Obviously, he weighed in at 143. Some people are going to be on me about that. But I think he's going to... I think it's going to be hard to beat that power. I think him versus Tio, though, that's a good matchup I would like to see. We won't know until they fight who wins, but I would favor Ryan. But yeah, guys, I think Ryan would have to go up to welterweight to get a challenge or pick and choose his fights. I think Fundora would be a good fight for him. That's a winnable fight. I think Jaron Ennis, that would be a tough fight for him. But as far as Tiafimo, Tank rematch at a healthy weight, I got Ryan winning, bro. And it's not because I'm high on this win. I always believed people were too harsh on Ryan for losing to Tank. The guy wasn't healthy. People don't understand. If you don't drink water for a couple hours, you feel like shit. Now imagine you can't drink and you're told you feel like shit right now, and you're told no, you can't put any more water, and you're feeling like shit. Now imagine you have to fight someone now in front of millions of people. Ryan even said you can't even play ping pong dehydrated. So anyway, guys, what I think about the fight, Ryan he's more than just the left hook. And even you can say whatever you want. He knows how to set up that left hook. He's got a good right hand, the speed, the movement, the setting up, the endurance, the speed, the power, the calmness under pressure. He might have Devin Haney's number too. That might be the case because he seemed like he was just brimming with confidence. Haney seemed like he was trying to. I give respect to Haney. He's got a heart. I'm not going to say he has the greatest chin, maybe, but it's Ryan Garcia, so it's hard to really say. Ryan does that to everybody except Tank, which he was handicapped. So I'm not going to say that Haney has a bad chin, but he has great heart. Most guys would have not gotten up or continued. That just shows you how great conditioning Haney was. He wasn't willing to just lay down. Haney wasn't going to let it happen like that. But Haney loses the belt now. Ryan doesn't gain it, so now it's vacated. I see a rematch happening or both guys moving up to 147. I don't think Haney is comfortable at 140. I think he is dehydrated at 140. Did that matter, Ryan being 3 pounds heavier? It probably did matter a bit because Ryan was healthier and he didn't have to cut weight as much. Ryan knew what he was doing. He wanted just the W. And this shows you the fact that belts don't really matter because everybody and fans, they just care about the W. Because, like, I'll give you an example with the Gervonta fight. No one cares. Like, I care, but a lot of people don't care that Ryan he was dehydration. They just think, oh, excuse. They just look at the L. The fan that doesn't really care, the casual, the people that don't really, they don't want to be sympathetic of anything. They don't want to look at any sort of excuse. They just look at the L and the W. And this proves the point because people aren't even talking about really the fact that Ryan won the belt or didn't win the belt. They're just talking about he got the W, and that's way more important. It's all about the W. Let me know what you guys thought about the fight. I think it'd be interesting to see what Haney can do in a rematch. Did Ryan get in his head? Maybe he did. But my problem is, does Haney have the power to keep Ryan off in the rematch? Because Ryan is just going to be totally confident now going into the rematch. Obviously, there's many factors in it. Is Ryan going to be... Ryan is kind of like Tyson Fury in the sense you don't know what you're going to get, maybe, because his mental state is kind of like Fury, like ADHD, kind of bipolar, and similar behaviors. So he can have a really great night. Maybe he could have an off night. I don't know. But so far, Ryan has only had one off night, and that's when he was dehydrated. So I can't really... I'm just trying to make comparisons. If he goes into the fight, though, healthy against Haney, and Haney has a different game plan, I feel like you got to heavily favor Ryan because Ryan knows when he touches you, he hurts you. So his confidence is going to be through the roof. Because I know they fought 6 times before, but it was all amateur fights. So Ryan, that happened long ago too. So Ryan still had the confidence that he knew what he did back then, but this is recent. He destroyed you recently. So Ryan's going to go into that fight being like, look what I did you last time. Now I'm just going to totally run you over. So definitely, I'm not going to count Haney out, but he has to, the odds are against Haney in the rematch. He has to really develop a game plan. Game plan wasn't working. He needs to work on stuff. Ryan, he just needs to stay mentally healthy. And as long as he stays mentally and physically healthy, I heavily favor him in the rematch for sure. But it should be at a catch weight or at 147, I believe. Great performance by Ryan Garcia. Like I said, there were spots in the fight where I thought, oh, is he getting tired after he knocked him down the first time? Because Haney started getting some momentum. But it wasn't like, it was kind of fake momentum in a sense. Ryan was letting him come forward and giving a false sense of confidence to Haney. And I feel like he was just playing possum. Maybe he was gathering his energy and he was a little bit tired. I don't know. But Ryan was moving laterally with his legs a lot, using his legs a lot. Kind of combining. I liked what someone brought up. Floyd Mayweather used to do that a lot. He would move laterally back and forth. Not just Mayweather, but a lot of fighters do that. Try to find angles, frustrate the guy coming forward. And Ryan was doing that. But in Haney's mind, and even the people's mind, they think, oh, is Haney taking control? Because Ryan's known as the guy to get you out of there, to knock you out, not the guy to box. But contrary to a lot of people's belief, Ryan's a great boxer. And he's great on the back foot, too. He's knocked guys out on the back foot. But I noticed that I started to not be worried about Ryan being tired because I noticed, okay, he's not backing up because he's tired because he hurt Haney again. And then he started doing that again. He started backing off again. So I'm like, okay, this is a game plan. This isn't because he's tired. He's trying to set Haney up. And lo and behold, every time he touched Haney, as the fight progressed, it had more and more of an effect, and Haney just couldn't deal with the firepower. And it was all. I didn't question Garcia's game gas tank at that moment anymore. There was at the middle of the fight, I was questioning it a bit, like I said, but it was just strategy. He wasn't tired, and he was kind of teasing Haney at the end with the doing the little taunting and stuff. He was in total control, guys. Does it deserve a rematch? It does deserve a rematch in the sense that Haney give you the opportunity. Well, in a sense, Ryan gave him an opportunity. He was the A side. But I mean, for the kind of champion Haney was, you should give him a rematch. And I know a lot of people are saying that. But it's funny, though, how Haney didn't give Loma a rematch. Isn't that how everyone's calling for, deserves a rematch? It's because I know some people are saying it's the right thing to do, which it is. But he didn't give Loma the rematch. So, and maybe because it was just he couldn't make the weight anymore. But come on, guys. I think they should have wrote up contract and said, know what, Lomachenko, let's make it at 137, 138. I'm sure Loma would have agreed to that. But he didn't want to give Loma the rematch because he knew he lost. But anyway, I do respect Haney. He takes on all comers. You can't blame the judges for robbing. You can't blame Haney for robbing Lomachenko, right? The judges robbed him, unless Haney paid them up, but I doubt he did. That's just the way it goes. He challenged Kambosos twice in Australia. He fought Lomachenko before Tank would. Tank's afraid of Loma. So you got to give respect to Haney. He fought a healthy Ryan, where Tank, he don't want to fight a healthy Ryan because he knows what will happen. So I give way more respect to Haney than Tank. Now, do I think Tank's more naturally talented than Haney? Yes, I do. But the mentality of Haney is way more respectable. Anyway, guys, great performance. Let me know if you got your pick right. I'll break it down more later. I'm just watching a lot of interviews. Everyone's shocked. Some people are calling it the biggest upset in a while. Jim Lampley actually said it's the biggest upset ever. He's saying it's bigger than Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson. Now, I wasn't around in that era, but if he's saying that, that's crazy. That's crazy. But definitely a huge upset. I always thought he could win as long as he was in a good state, as long as he was well trained, and he was, and he won. I never thought, I'll leave it at this video. I'll end the video like this, guys. The way they were talking about Ryan, and not just casual fans, people in the boxing world, like Paulie Malignaggi, like Tim Bradley, like other fighters, reporters, people in the sport, they talked like Ryan was a YouTuber. They talked like Ryan didn't have a good amateur background. They talked to him like he was just an okay fighter. What are these guys seeing? I know when I see talent, and it's funny how when they see Boots Ennis, they're calling him the best guy ever. When they seen Terrence Crawford years ago, they were saying he was best before he proved anything. But with Ryan, they're like, no, he's not that good. The eye test don't lie. This guy's speed and power and timing is it's elite. It's generational. This guy could be something special as long as he stays mentally focused, which might be hard. You don't know how it's going to go, right? If he, like you said, he says he has ADHD, bipolar, similar to Tyson Fury. As long as he's dealing with his demons and he's ready for the fight, I think he can beat everybody. He has a chance to beat everybody, if not beat everybody. So I never thought that this was Like, it's still surprising to me the way it went, but I never thought it was impossible or anything. Like, I picked Ryan to win, and I believed in Ryan that if not, it was going to be competitive no matter what, but it wasn't. It was one-sider actually for Ryan. So just look at it, guys. Ryan, great amateur background, amazing power. Look at his track record. In the one fight that he did lose, look at the stipulations, and now look how he proved everyone wrong that was the case in the Gervonta Davis fight. When he's healthy, when he's hydrated, he can do this. Obviously, Haney's a different fighter, but this should not be taken lightly, guys. People were calling Haney top 5 pound for pound, at least top 10. A lot of people top 5. So Ryan's automatically top 10 pound for pound. He should be top 5 now if you were putting him top 5. Haney wasn't a guy that just had one win. Haney beat Kambosos twice. He beat Linares. He beat Gamboa. But that was the one question mark on Haney. He's beating a lot of these guys when they're not in their prime anymore. And I know Regis Prograde isn't far. He's not like super old. He's still technically in his prime. He's only 31 or 32. But he's not a young and hungry guy like Ryan. But what I'm trying to say is, and I didn't think he'd beat Lomachenko, but I got to say he did compete with Lomachenko. So Haney had a good track record. It's not like he just beat one guy. He was proven. So Ryan automatically gets proven with this win. And it's a dominating win. So Ryan's top pound for pound. Let me know what you guys think. This is Triple J Boxing. And take care, guys.